Billionaire visits his abandoned old house to demolish it, but what he finds changes everything. The house stood like a forgotten scar on the land, its cracked walls leaning into the wind as if they were tired of holding secrets. For the billionaire sitting in the black luxury car outside, this place was not just old bricks and rotting wood. It was the one memory he had spent his entire life running from. As the demolition crew waited for his signal, his chest tightened in a way no business loss or billion-dollar deal ever had. He had conquered the world, but this house still owned him. Before the story pulls you deeper into what happened behind those broken doors, take a moment. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that the past can still heal us, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. The billionaire had not returned here in over 30 years. The road leading to the house was narrower than he remembered, swallowed by wild grass and thorny bushes. As the car stopped, he stepped out slowly, his expensive shoes sinking slightly into the damp earth. The air smelled of dust, rust, and old rain. This was the house where he grew up poor, hungry, and angry at the world. The house where his father left one night and never returned, and where his mother slowly faded under the weight of unpaid bills and broken dreams. He had promised himself that one day he would destroy this place, erase it completely, and prove that it had no power over him. From the outside, the house looked smaller than his memory. The roof sagged, windows were shattered, and the paint had long peeled away. Yet the silence around it was heavy, almost watching him. As he walked closer, flashes of his childhood hit him without warning. Long nights listening to the rain drip through holes in the ceiling. Empty cupboards that echoed when opened. His mother sitting by the window, staring at nothing, pretending not to cry. These memories had fueled his ambition, pushing him to work harder than anyone else, to climb faster, to become untouchable. Or so he thought. The demolition was meant to be quick and final. He had plans to build a modern housing project here, something profitable, something clean and new. No ghosts, no emotions, just progress. But as he stood in front of the door, his hand hesitated. The wood was rough under his fingers, splintered with age. This was the same door he slammed shut the night he left, swearing never to look back. He had been young, furious, and convinced that love was a weakness. Inside, the house was darker than expected. Sunlight filtered through broken boards, cutting thin lines through the dust. Each step made the floor creak, protesting his return. The rooms were empty, but not lifeless. The walls seemed to breathe with memories. The living room still held the shape of where a couch once sat. The kitchen sink was rusted, but he could almost hear the sound of water running, his mother washing dishes late at night to distract herself from worry. As he moved deeper into the house, something strange caught his attention. In the far corner of the living room, behind fallen debris, there was movement. His first thought was animals. The second was that he should have brought security. But curiosity pushed him forward. When he cleared the broken wood aside, what he saw stopped him cold. A small, makeshift space had been built there. A thin mattress, a blanket, a few worn books, and a flickering battery-powered lamp. Someone had been living here. Recently. His heart began to pound. This house, abandoned and scheduled for demolition, was someone's shelter. Before he could process that thought, he noticed something else. On the wall above the mattress were drawings. Dozens of them. Charcoal sketches of the house, the road outside, the trees, and one recurring image that made his breath catch. A woman sitting by a window, her face tired but gentle. It was his mother. Or at least, a version of her so close it felt impossible. Confusion turned into unease. Who would draw this? And how could they know? As he explored further, he found more signs of life. A small pot for boiling water. A plastic bag with cheap food. A pair of worn shoes by the door. This was not vandalism. This was survival. And suddenly, the idea of demolishing the house no longer felt simple or clean. He sat down on the dusty floor, something he had not done in years. His mind raced through possibilities. Perhaps it was a homeless squatter. Perhaps someone desperate. But the drawings lingered in his thoughts, pulling at something deep inside him. He realized how long it had been since he last felt anything other than control. Money had insulated him from discomfort, from empathy, from pain. And now, in this broken house, those walls were crumbling. Hours seemed to pass as he wandered, memories colliding with the present. In what used to be his bedroom, he found an old wooden box hidden beneath a loose floorboard. His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside were objects he thought were long gone. A cracked photo frame of him and his mother. A folded piece of paper with his name written in her handwriting. And beneath it, a letter he had never seen. The letter was simple, written in uneven lines. It spoke of love, of fear, of hope that one day he would forgive the world and himself. His mother wrote about how proud she was, even when life was cruel. She apologized for the nights she couldn't give him more than silence. She asked him, in her own quiet way, to remember where he came from, not with anger, but with compassion. The billionaire felt something break inside him. Tears came before he could stop them, falling onto the dusty floor. He had spent decades believing his strength came from forgetting, from cutting ties, from proving he needed no one. But here, surrounded by the ruins of his past, he understood the truth. His strength had come from love, even if it was love he had buried. As evening approached, he stepped outside to clear his head. That was when he saw them. A thin teenage boy standing at a distance, watching the house nervously. The boy's clothes were worn, his posture guarded, as if ready to run at any moment. In his hands, he held a small sketchbook. The connection was immediate and undeniable. This was the person who had been living inside. The person who drew those images. The person whose life was about to be erased by a demolition order signed without a second thought. The billionaire did not approach with authority or anger. For the first time in his life, he approached with humility. The boy was an orphan, moving from place to place, surviving by drawing portraits on the street for spare change. The abandoned house had been the only place that felt safe, a place that whispered stories of warmth even in its decay. The woman in the drawings was not known to him by name, but he had felt her presence, her sadness, her kindness, and he drew what he felt. Listening to this, the billionaire realized something that shook him deeply. Even in its broken state, the house had still been giving shelter. Still offering comfort. Still serving a purpose. That night, the demolition was called off. In the days that followed, the billionaire made a decision that shocked his business partners and confused the media. Instead of tearing the house down, he restored it. Not into a luxury mansion, but into a community shelter and art center. A place for people with nowhere else to go. A place where stories could be told, pain could be shared, and creativity could become a lifeline. The boy was given a room, an education, and the freedom to draw without fear of hunger or cold. His talent flourished, his art gaining recognition for its raw emotion and honesty. The drawings of the woman by the window were preserved, framed on the wall of the restored house, a silent tribute to a mother who had loved deeply and quietly. For the billionaire, life changed in ways no amount of money ever had. He began to spend time at the house, listening to stories, learning names, remembering what it felt like to be human instead of powerful. The emptiness he had carried for decades slowly softened. He understood now that success without compassion was just another kind of poverty. Years later, when people asked him why he canceled a multi-million-dollar project for an old, broken house, he never gave a business answer. He simply said that sometimes, the places we want to destroy are the ones that still have the power to save us. If this story touched your heart even a little, if it reminded you of your own past, your own wounds, or your own chances at healing, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps these stories reach people who need them most. And before this story ends, I have a special request. Please comment below and tell us one thing from your past that helped shape who you are today. Your words might inspire someone else who is still struggling. The house still stands today, not as a monument to wealth, but as a reminder that healing does not always come from building something new. Sometimes, it comes from walking back into the ruins we abandoned, listening to what they still have to say, and choosing compassion over destruction.